Zane, Clodfelter, and Preston, Leinenbach with OttersTV. We just wrapped up a really fun homestand. 7 games in 6 days.
Keep talking.
Preston's getting something, and the Otters didn't drop one. They swept both series. The Florence Y'alls were swept Tuesday through Thursday in 3 games. And then for the first time since 2013 in a series against River City to close the season, Evansville over the weekend swept a 4-game series against Southern Illinois.
Pretty remarkable homestand considering how probably, I guess, what was it, just over a week ago, the team was a little bit in a slump. We didn't know when the tables might turn back in Evansville's favor. Well, it happened to be during this homestand. Home sweet home. Take care of business not only against the team at the time that was ahead of them and jumping and leapfrogging them in the standings to the Florence Y'alls, but also the team that was actually getting a really good chase in the West Division, the Southern Illinois Miners, of course, yesterday with the makeup of the doubleheader from a previous rainout, and yeah, matching the homestand win total from earlier back in early June.
Yeah, the problem for Evansville in the West Division, you're focused solely on Florence, and you didn't realize going into this homestand that, yeah, Southern Illinois had made up some ground, but now as we talk, the Otters have a 3-game lead in the West Division, and now a 7.5-game lead over Southern Illinois, which on Friday, it was just 3.5-game spread.
Right, and again, it's still early with now basically the season going a little bit longer into September than normal, so still a little over a month left in the season, still plenty of time. No reason to start counting yet, I guess, but it's a pretty good spot to be in when you are going into early August now with the Frontier League lead that the Otters do have in the West Division.
I have to give credit, and I know he's going to watch this series recap. Hunter Wade, after Evansville beat the Florence Y'alls on Tuesday, told me in the press box, and Preston, you might have heard, he said that the Otters were going to go 7-0 on this homestand. I kid you not, legit happened.
I mean, he has a lot of knowledge.
He does.
So
he came up as he was, he's one of our Odeon operators on camera. As he was putting his stuff away on Sunday night, he came up to me and said, "What did I say? 7-0." So Hunter Wade
might start having him picking the lucky numbers for me, or start taking care of my stuff in Vegas.
No, then we can all retire and get out of here, right? So but the pitching for Evansville, I think the entire weekend against Southern Illinois was fantastic, and really, the Otters didn't have to use a lot of that bullpen as a result.
I mean, the starting pitching, just in the Florence series alone, the starter ERA was just like a few decimals above 1. And Ryan O'Reilly bookended the homestand with 2 really good starts for Evansville back on Tuesday to start the series against Florence, here on the Sunday finale against Southern. You saw basically the entire rotation, Portella, Scott, everybody just pitched well in the entire rotation.
The first 2 games...
And Gossman kind of was just unlucky that he didn't actually factor into the decision, because when he finished, he had the lead when he got out of that game.
Yeah, so let's get Joel on camera. He's on...
Boom, baby! Boom!
Joel on camera there. Yeah, there we go. He has to give us our post-game high fives. The impressive thing to start this series was Evansville on Friday, and then the first game of that doubleheader on Saturday allowed just 2 hits total each game for Southern Illinois.
Yeah, I mean, that's the key. Just, obviously not giving up hard hits, keep them off the base paths. Holgrafer also earlier in the week, another great outing as well. And so that's the kind of the key. I mean, Evansville has a good, strong rotation. They found good consistency with their offense. Of course, I would say that earlier in the week, the addition of Mattis provided a little bit of a spark plug, a new face for the team in the lineup, but that helped quite a bit. And Riley Crane was unbelievable this past weekend once again, when he continued to do what he's been doing all year long. And it just seems like the team maybe kind of figured it back out again after, again, going a couple weeks ago where maybe things didn't look so great, especially a couple weeks ago at Gateway.
We do have to talk about it. And Ryan, we're going to ask your perspective and thought about it too. The glaring elephant in the room from the 4-game weekend sweep of Southern Illinois comes in the second game of the doubleheader. So after Evansville and Paulo Portella got the win 2-1, the second game was tied, I believe, at 3, correct?
Yep.
Goes to extras. Still tied after 8 because it's a 7-inning game because of a doubleheader. So we go to a home run derby. And for the Otters, you had Riley Crane, you had Dakota Phillips, and then Andretti Cordero. We'll get to him in a second. And then for Southern Illinois, you had Mangieri, you had Early, and there was one batter we did not see because there was an issue with reporting, I guess, the order for Southern
either
Illinois.
reporting the order or the player was not paying attention that it was his turn to be at the dish ready to take some swings. Nonetheless, yeah, because Mangieri went through his first round, Early stepped up for the second round. His rounds end up being discounted because he had gone out of the lineup order that is given to the umpires ahead
Supposed to be Sandoval.
of the derby by each manager. It was supposed to be Ariel Sandoval, and then Early got to go in his actual round, in the third round, but at that point Sandoval was not allowed to hit because it was already past his total. So yeah, kind of an interesting wrinkle when at the time Southern Illinois was ahead through the first, second round with Early.
They had a little bit of momentum.
They did have a little momentum.
And Ryan, I want to bring this up to you. You know, the fact is, and I guess the league rules are written a certain way. So you had Mangieri going first. Sandoval was supposed to go second, but because they skipped him, they then omitted him altogether. And Early, who then went out of order, was then allowed basically an extra reprieve. So my long story short, I find it a little bit interesting they didn't make Sandoval go as that then third batter for Southern, because Early basically then warmed up with 8 pitches that didn't count, but he was a lot hotter than the Otters competition where they only saw those 8 pitches. Early, in theory, saw 16.
Yeah, I mean, either that, and it could be the fact where maybe it's just extra swings on him where maybe it wore him out. Who knows? I mean, who knows?
Ryan, what do you think?
Well, with the ruling, they're trying to salvage as much of regular baseball as they can in the home run derby, so that lineup is supposed to work like a regular game lineup. If you bat out of order, you still go back to your regular order. So if someone goes ahead, but as soon as it's brought to the umpire's attention, whatever happened in the prior at bat is null and void, and that's considered an out. So Otters skipper Andy McCauley, really smart move to leave Nolan Early alone, to let him take 8 pitches. In fact, it went to 9, which was curious. And at the point, there were players following along wondering, wait, why did they just let us, or why did we just let them take 9 pitches and try to hit a home run? The reason why? Go ahead and see if Nolan Early can tire himself out. But counting is hard, and that's baseball.
Counting is hard. That's why I have a degree in journalism, because I couldn't count very well. And it's interesting, you know, Mike Pinto, the home plate umpire, brings it to his attention, and Mike Pinto listens to what Michael Holman said, and there's really nothing you can say. Mike Pinto didn't argue the issue because he had it listed, and
He didn't argue it. He did ask for maybe just a second clarification of the rules, make sure everybody was on the same page.
from Steve Tassler, who was sitting
Right,
there
but
at field level.
there was not much of an argument to be made because I think they all realized that's exactly what had happened.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a wild and crazy ending to that game where you thought the Otters were going to win, and then Southern Illinois rallies back. They had a couple of heavy hitters, but Evansville's offense ended up being just a little bit better.
Just a little bit better. Of course, you mentioned Cordero. He's the one that ended up basically hitting the walk-off in his third round. He needed only one to win it. He did it on the first pitch.
No doubt. There was no doubt either.
Which, he has a pretty good BP swing, so that was right in his wheelhouse. Nonetheless, the momentum switched back to Evansville. It was kind of curious to see maybe how Southern would respond on the finale day, to see if maybe, okay, they got us there last night, we'll bounce back and at least get one game. But they came out kind of flat. Evansville had the regular offense during the actual regulation of the game. They didn't need a home run derby on Sunday as they all came through. Phillips with a nice bomb. I mean, everybody just, some great power carrying over.
Riley Crane, too.
Riley Crane, his was definitely a no-doubter.
Yes.
I mean, my goodness. And so that was great to see that the offense was ready to go from the first inning, and they carried it on. Good pitching, great combination.
And I don't know about you, the first batter for me on Sunday was really crucial. If that Southern Illinois batter gets on, a walk, a hit by pitch, base hit, it's like, okay, maybe Southern Illinois, they get a little bit of life. But we were talking about it earlier. Ryan O'Reilly in 7 pitches struck out the first two batters, and that really just set the tone early.
Yeah, it did. Later on, second time through the order, a few base runners, but he battled through it, got out of it, and again, a little momentum later on with the same scenario. Needed some bullpen help, but Evansville got out of it. But yeah, setting the tone early, I think, because, like I said, Southern could come out fired up, ready to go, or they could come out flat and kind of let last night affect them mentally in a negative way. But he came out and he said, no, we're going to I'm going to affect you with my pitching, and he came out, like he said, on 7 pitches, struck out the first 2.
So Ryan Brown is heading on the road with ODN to bring the audio-only broadcast. They're going, Ryan, to Windy City and Crestwood, correct? Tuesday through Thursday. You've been there before. Your favorite thing about going to Crestwood to cover Windy City and Evansville baseball?
Not 10:35 start times in the morning.
Oh, God, I would hate that too. God bless
The
you.
players apparently don't like it either. We've asked a few of the players on OttersTV, and a few of them have said they don't like morning starts.
Right,
So.
yeah, we even asked Tim Holdgrafer, so...
Even though you get done early in the day and you have the rest of your day after the game to, go out, go, to a restaurant or whatever. Or I know a few of them last trip went to Chicago, went to a ball game that I believe it was the White Sox, wasn't it, Ryan, that a few of them went to, I believe? Okay. And so, yeah, I mean, but they just don't like, they're not morning people. They prefer to play either, I guess, late afternoon or even into the evening.
Baseball, it's all about that routine, and then they're going to, after that 3-game series in Crestwood, go east.
Of course, it's tough to go from an evening game to a morning game the very next day as well. It's a quick turnaround.
It is, and not a lot of sleep, and then they're going to Avon, Ohio to take on the Crushers of Lake Erie. And Ryan, you have not been there yet, correct?
No, this is our first time in the city that rocks, Cleveland.
Just outside.
Yeah, usually there's like a June trip to Lake Erie. Of course, usually that's paired with the trip to Washington as well. So kind of an interesting wrinkle in the schedule for this year.
Have you done a scouting report of Avon, Ohio? Things to check out, Ryan? You're just going to go in willy-nilly and see what you find.
There's a lake.
Yes, it's a pretty big one, too.
He's gonna go fishing.
Yeah, he's going to go fishing. And then once they're back from Lake Erie and Avon, Ohio, big homestand coming up. You have Southern Illinois. It's a Taco Tuesday, and there's other fun activities planned too, right, Preston?
Yes, yeah. Southern and Lake Erie comes here 1 week later after the trip to Lake Erie.
Right.
But yeah, Taco Tuesday with military appreciation with the VFW, Senior Connection Wednesday, 55 and older get $2 tickets and the general admission seating. Thirsty Thursday, Edward Jones Youth First will be here for that part, and then we'll head into the weekend with some really big nights. ES for Everyone.
Oh, man.
Indiana 811 fireworks as always on ES for Everyone night.
And probably a loaded crowd of 5,000. We're
Yep.
not overselling it. It will be packed. So if you don't have tickets to ES for Everyone night, that is a big time deal. You need to get on that.
Yeah, and I think that'll be the game that will definitely probably be the first one feeling like back to normal after the past year. Saturday, you'll have the Breast Cancer Awareness Night. So
Also a big draw.
with marathon, they'll have the pink themed jerseys. Also fireworks on Saturday night. So Friday and Saturday both post game fireworks shows, and then of course Sunday the finale of the homestand, Dog Days of Summer. Bring your furry friend, the 4-legged dog, and as well as $2 hot dogs at the concession stand.
And that's going to be the Ryan Brown finale, right?
That is the truth. Yes, unfortunately, he'll be
That's-
leaving us after that Sunday game.
So you need to listen to the Ryan Brown broadcast because you only have, how many left? 12? You only have 12 broadcasts left. So the countdown is on. Just kidding. For Ryan Brown, who's doing a great job, Preston Leinenbach, I'm saying Clodfelter. This has been OttersTV.